Hi everybody, we're Lance and Chad. I'm Lance.
And I'm Chad.
And we practice Filipino martial arts. Today we're going to be demonstrating a little bit of knife work, but we're going to start with a couple of drills that you're probably familiar with. To begin with, we'll do some parry check strike or trapping hands. And if we switch to the knife, a 1-2 drill.
Hold on. I'm getting cut an awful lot, and I'm pretty sure you are too.
I am.
So this probably isn't the first knife video that you've watched, and so you probably also recognize that the knife can do a lot of damage in a very small amount of time. We prefer to practice drills that allow us to avoid getting cut instead of practicing getting cut. So out of respect for the knife, we try to, as best we can, manage the range between us and our opponent, and also to manage our opponent's knife or knife hand. So the drill that we're going to be discussing tonight works with those two things as well as effective attacks.
So the drill that Chad's describing takes 4 parts. We're going to start by managing the range, and we're going to begin at a range of where we're both safe, neither of us can engage, but in order to get to that range where I can start to use my knife, I'm going to start and advance to Chad, but I'm going to use a low kick to help me get there. I've landed into a position where now I can start to use my knife, cutting anything in my path. I want to damage Chad as much as I can and distract him and simultaneously threaten him with the knife. And as I do this, I start with what's called a complex attack, our 3rd step. So this is an attack that's designed to create a vulnerability and a distraction so I can move around it and throw my desired attack. And then lastly, step 4, I'm just simply going to escape, moving out and trying to minimize any damage to myself.
So that's a very effective attacking sequence. What are we going to do about defense? How do we manage this? And again, it comes back to managing a couple of things. The range between us and our opponent, and also managing our opponent's knife or knife hand. We're also going to make use of our own attack because that helps to leverage both of those things. So first of all, as Lance moves in with his low line kick, obviously we want to get out of the way and avoid that, and also maintain some distance between he and I so that I have a chance at surviving this. As he is beginning his cuts, as he enters in, I'll try to manage his knife hand as best I can with my checking hand. But he is setting up for a very effective attack, which is going to rely on deception. This requires that I don't overextend like he wants me to create this vulnerability. It requires discipline on my part to make sure that I keep my elbows close and I don't create any extra exposure there. Another thing that can really help a lot is that as he is moving his way toward launching this complex attack, is to initiate some of my own attacking patterns or my own attacks, and that might discourage him enough to bail out because he doesn't want to get cut either. So now we have this, the two sides of the drill, the attack and the defense, where we're making use of these ideas. We'll demonstrate that a couple of times and take turns. Okay, so that drill probably looks different than what you're used to seeing. It's a little messy, it's very free form. We're bailing out on things to avoid getting cut because we don't want to stick with a technique, either an attack or a defense, that's going to get us injured. Practicing this way will help you to develop skill and movement and then help you to control that range and to avoid getting cut all the time.
Thanks a lot, and good luck with your practice.